Hello again, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel and the final part of the file folder Folio. We're going to get it finished today, or if I don't completely finish it, I'll finish it again off camera, and then I might have to do a little quick flip through afterwards. So this is where we got to today. In the last video. I've still got all the mess around me from that video. This is now the next day, so I thought I'd just carry on and get it finished rather than putting it all away and having to get it all back out again. So we're just going to carry on. Now, the one thing I noticed when after I'd finished filming yesterday, I don't know if you can see this, there's a little bit of discoloration along the bottom here. Now, I'm a bit of a shocker with my wet wipes. I'm inclined to just leave it lying around on my desk. And quite often bits of paper end up sort of lying on it or up against it. And obviously I've got a bit of a wet wipe going, sort of discoloration here where it's just rested against it at some point. So I thought I need to cover that up, even though it's ended up not showing that much because the colour is not, it's got sort of a turquoisey colour. I know it's there because I've seen that colour, I've seen that happen before and I know what it looks like and it will bother me. So I spend quite a bit of time trying to decide how to cover this up without it, you know, well, it's still in keeping, because I was quite happy with it as it was. But I thought, well, if I'm going to add anything extra, I think I want to try and bring in a bit more of the blue, because there's little blue flowers here and here in her hat, or no, not in her hat, but just behind her hat here. So there's a little bit of blue going on. So I've been doing a bit of dyeing. I did some paper dyeing, as I have told you, the avocado and with the food colouring. Same time I did a bit of lace, so I did some of this, couple of different bits of lace. This is the avocado dyeing, which actually the colour is very close. It's a very good match to the colour scheme, but in fact it's such a good match I thought it would be, you know, it would be almost invisible on here. It wouldn't really give enough contrast. So I was trying it out. I'd got a little piece of this. I was trying to see if it would, and it looks okay because it's very close in match to the colour of the dress, but I just felt it all was a bit too samey, a bit too much of one colour. So I thought I'd bring in the pop of the turquoise. So yeah, I've spent ages trying to decide how to do it, because just putting one piece of, so this was the piece I want to put on here. But I thought just having that on its own, it was a bit too much like a blonk, you know, plopped on, and a completely different colour scheme to the rest. And even though there was this little bit of blue, I thought I needed a bit more blue. So I've got my little flower that I think I'm going to put on here. Yeah, I think it's got a little leaf to add to it. So I think I'll put that on there, like that. And then I found this little butterfly. Now my first thought, so I sort of just inked it a little bit in some blue, which is the broken china, and I thought maybe it would look nice just to have an extra couple of wings on this butterfly. So I tried that, and then I thought I've got it all on one side and it doesn't look very balanced. So then I was thinking, can I bring in a third item? But in the end, what I've decided to do is keep it simple and just move the little blue butterfly over to this side and have it perched on top of the bird cage there, like that. And then it just brings in that little bit of blue across, because just didn't like it lined up, one up, you know, like that. It just didn't look balanced to me. So I thought just having that little blue butterfly, and it's not overly blue, it's just got that hint of blue where I've just inked it a little bit. I just thought that would balance it out a bit, and I think that's what I'm going to go with. So before I change my mind again, I'm going to glue these on. I'm going to have to, I've got a choice of glues in front of me. I think because it's going to go on the lace, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. And I've got a little tiny blue pearl, so to join the two together. At the moment it's just blowing the butterfly around the it's just puffing air and it's just blowing it about. Okay, there goes my phone, as always. Okay, so I'll pop that there. Whoop. So yeah, so I just took the little butterfly and cut it in half, and now I'm going to put it back together again. But you'd never know. By the time I've got my little pearl on, you won't be able to tell. I'd like it to be a little bit more angled. Alright, now where's the little pearl gone? Got my little strip of blue ones. I've got quite as low on these as I have on the pink ones. I've hardly got any pink ones left. I think I put a tiny blob of glue on there, rather than trying to get it on the pearl itself. There. I think for the little one little pearl is enough, and you'd never know it being cut in half. So that's my little butterfly. So now I'm just going to put on a little bit of lace. Just make sure I got it. Cover up this area that I managed to get wet. And actually, even though it wasn't intentional, I quite like having the little pop of blue on the front here. Just move those off for a moment. Play around with those in a moment. And just pop that there. Have that little bit dangling off the bottom, I quite like that. Okay, now I've got to decide where this is going to go. Does it go on here? With the... don't like that way round. I think I'm going to have to put it here. And a little bit of... there we go. I think that will look okay. I think I've ummed and ahed about this long enough. I'm just going to have to commit now and get on with finishing the middle, or the inside, shall I say. I think you can faff around for too long, can't you, and then just never make a decision. I'm very good at doing that. That's why I did a lot of this off camera, because you really don't need to see me sitting there umming and ahhing and swapping and changing, and there may still be a bit of that in this video, but hopefully this bit shouldn't take as long as it did. There we are. That is done. I do like this as well. I might find some room somewhere to put that too. I don't know. I've got plenty more. Okay, so that's in. That's on, and it's done. So let's go back inside, see where we got to, see if there's what needs to still be done. Okay. Right, so I've got our lace on here. Let's move this out of the way. And so I did have a thought about this. This is looking to me a little bit bare. Don't worry, I'm not going to go mad, put more pockets on or anything. But I did remember that I have a really beautiful stamp from Crafty Individuals, and I haven't used it. I think I may have used it once, but I'm not sure. It looks like I've used it once, but I certainly haven't used it very much, and I did have it in mind that it would be great on here because it's this beautiful bird cage with a sort of floral bit down the side and a little bird. So I'm thinking it might just look quite nice there. So I'm trying to take everything out so it's as flat as possible under here. And I'm just going to put it on my big... I'm hoping this comes out. I'm a bit nervous, as I always am with doing stamping, because you never can be sure it'll come out as you want it. But I'm gonna do it, and if it doesn't come out, I'll have to cover it with something. I've got my ink. And you just use the black archival. this one. So cross all your fingers that this comes out. I'm a very nervous stamper, especially as it's not completely flat. It's as flat as I think I'm going to get it, this piece, but let's just make sure I've covered everything properly. Okay, let's go for it. Nothing ventured and all that. I'm going to pop it there. Doesn't feel too lumpy bumpy underneath, hopefully. Okay, moment of truth. Not perfect. It will do, because I can't risk putting it on again, I don't think. So just this little bit here didn't come out. Everything else came out beautifully. Just that little bit at the top. I wonder if I can try doing it again. It's probably not a good idea, is it? Okay, well, it's not perfect, but it could have been worse. Yeah, so after the various disasters I've had with wet wipes making a mess or marking my papers, I'm trying to get into the habit now, keeping it always in a little dish like this, so I know where it needs to be, and it's not going to be, hopefully, making anything wet around it. That's what I'm trying to remember to do. Of course, sometimes when you're in the heat of crafting, you forget to put it just where it's supposed to be, and I find it's still lurking around on my desk somewhere where it shouldn't be. Now, where did the plastic cover go? There was a bit of plastic. Here it is. A bit of plastic to go on. No, plastic goes on here. That's it. Pop that back in there. I might get this out again. Not sure. Okay, so that's that, and that's all done. So it doesn't, because it kind of matches it up a bit. So we've got the bird cage here. So, and then I have found with this one, it was supposed to be tucked in this way, but because I put a little tab on this journal card, it won't go anymore. But I don't think I mind, because I quite like that it's pulled, it matches this, and I think it looks quite nice like that. So I've actually left it flapped out. This one is still flapped in quite nicely. Doesn't really matter. I don't know if I showed you, I had this journal card which has just gone into the larger pocket on the side here. That's just popped in there. So that's ready to go. Now we've got these two side pockets. And in my original prototype I also had a pocket here, but I'm not oh, sorry, I'm not sure that there's really room for another pocket, so I think I'm going to leave it as it is. I think it's got a bit bulky already, and I haven't put anything in these side pockets yet. Now the first thing I feel like I want to do is to decorate them a little bit. So bring in the lace again. Now on this time I think this darker one will go best against this particular piece of paper, because this wasn't part of the kit. This paper I used was actually part of another Artie Maze kit, the sewing collage kit I think it was, but I quite liked, I love the pattern, and I thought the colour would, went in quite well. This is also not from this kit, so neither of these two pieces of paper are from the actual shabby chic kit, but I think they all tone in quite nicely, so it just expanded the kit a little bit. This is another Artie Mae's paper again. I mean, her kits clearly go together quite well. This is one of her freebie papers, and I really love it, so this is the first chance I've had to use that as well. Anyway, having said that, I think I'm going to put a bit of this lace along the edge of the two pockets, because I think that looks quite pretty. I haven't put thumbnails there. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I think I'm going to put lace instead, because why not? Love a bit of lace, as you know. One piece there, and another piece here. Okay, just put my pin in. Right, so let's bring in the Fabri-Tac. Right, hopefully I've got enough on there. Now this is definitely a back and a front to this. Yep, the front's just a little bit shinier. I just wanted to go along the edge. I don't want it going over the edge because it'll catch when you put things in the pocket. Just pull it up a little bit. Okay, just let that dry for a moment and then I'll trim that off a little bit. Let's do the other side. There we are. There. And again, let's get this rabbit out. And be right on the edge. There. Okay, so if you remember, I said I didn't think I had the right size pieces to go in these side pockets and I was going to have to do some collaging. Well, I have done that. I did it off camera just because I always take ages to collage, like I do everything. And I thought if we did the collaging on camera, that would be the whole video. So even though it was only one page, it took me a while. So I've collaged just using scraps from the kit, that, you know, from everything I've been using. It's in this magazine. I've got lots of Christmas collaging ready to go for my next Christmas journal, if I do one. So yeah, I've collaged that and I've also done the back. So I've just got to get it out of the book, which is always the hardest part. It's getting it started. Once it's going, we should be okay. That's it, here it comes. It's quite nice and sturdy. Right, so we have this. I just need to do a bit of measuring, really. Let's see how big I want. So they're going to be journal card, I think, rather than a tag, because we've got loads of tags. I think it'd be nice to have something a bit different. Although I'm putting journal cards in the envelopes, but I think so I think it can be 3.5 by, don't want it too big, 6. Let's try that. Let's try doing a 3.5 by 6. Now I'm just going to, It's always a challenge to remember how to fold this all back up again and get it out of my way. So flap that in like that. However many times I do this, my daughter was laughing at me at the weekend because I was showing it to her, and I was still getting in the pickle trying to put it all back together. She said, "Mum, you're going to have to do instructions on how, if you give this to somebody, on how to open it and how to get into it and close it again." Nah, we'll just have to figure it out for themselves, won't they? Right. Let's see. So we want 6 in length, don't we? And then, right, so let's get that out of the way. So I'm going to make it 6 inches long. 6 inches that way. And then 3.5 we said that way. Three and a half. That's 1. I'm going to do it to incorporate this pretty flower. Right, first of all I'm going to trim off this edge. This was the edge of the paper, the inside edge, so I just want to trim that off a little bit, tidy that up. Okay, and then we're going to make that 3.5. Don't know what to do with that, but might find a use for it. Who knows? Right, let's see how that looks, how that fits. And I've got the other half to use if I don't like it. They're not. I've got a bit more here to use somewhere else if I need to, or if either of these don't look right. What do I do with it? There it is. Okay. Just opening this gently because I'm a bit wary. Although this is really quite sturdy now with the extra thickness on the back as well. Right, let's just see how these fit. Flip, flip, flip. Nope, not that one. That one. That's it. Okay, so we've got this one and we've got this one. See if it's the right size, because I can always trim it down if it's a bit too big. Okay, they fit in okay. They look fine there actually. Right, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of work on them just to tidy them up a bit. There we go again. Okay, so of course I'm going to round the corners. So I have my 2 journal cards. I've just rounded the corners and inked around them. And now I want to see, I'm going to put a little embellishment on them, but I just want to see, I'm thinking I'd like a little bit of lace along the edge. There's loads of butterflies and hearts in the kit, so I think I'm going to put some butterflies on as well. Let's just see which lace would look best along the edge of each one, because it's got to be the same one on both. So I just wanted a little bit, I don't want it as wide as this, just a little bit along the edge here, just because I think that would look pretty. So I have got this pink, and I just want to see how the colour goes. This little narrow piece of pink, would that look okay? on that side and on that side. I think that might be alright. Or I've got this, which of course is far too wide, but I'll just cut it down. I've got plenty of it, so, and it is a really pretty one. I could just cut a little piece off. I think I prefer that, to be honest. Let's just see. Cut that there. Thought this might work, but I'm not sure. It's a bit too much of a bit too bright, really, I think. I think I'm just going to cut that down there. Going along there, and then just trim this off a little bit as well. It's got to look the same. I know the journal cards aren't the same because they've been taken from the collage sheet, but I think the embellishment should be a little bit symmetrical. I've got a little piece I might be able to use somewhere else, I don't know. And put that on there. Okay, yep, I think that, oh, sorry, got a tickle again. Oh, excuse me. I don't know, I get all the coughing and sneezing done when I'm on video for some strange reason. I don't do it that much the rest of the time. There it comes. There. Right up to the edge. Okay. One. And the other one. We'll find somewhere to put this. Surrounded. Right. Put this piece on as well. Oh, I'll put it the other way around. Boop, boop, boop. I rather wish I'd got the scalloped edge going off the edge, but that's not what I did on the first one, so I have to do it the same. And that's fine. Okay. Now the other thing I wanted to do was add some butterflies. Now if you look at this has got a lot more blank space than this one, so my plan is to have one butterfly on here, just about there where there looks like they need something. and then 2 on here, I think. One there and one there. Just to fill the blank spaces, really. You could also put other things, words, labels. I'm just going to stick with the butterflies, I think, for now. Oops. Now see if we can get the glitter glue flowing. I do like to challenge myself by using all the glues. And none of them want to play. Sometimes. Hoping this will. Oh, yep. Yep, it's coming out to play. I'm going to have to glue even though I like a bit of movement on your butterflies, these are going to have to be glued flat, otherwise they're going to catch on the pocket. And there. And this is where the writing paper that was part of the paper, you know, the kit papers, they weren't quite so useful when I was decorating, but they've turned out very useful for backing these journal cards and backing my tags. So I've used quite a bit of the slightly more lined paper, and I've just collaged it a bit at the back as well, so you've got the backing of the 2 journal cards. So I'm just going to pop this one in here. And this one in here. Okay, so that's done. And that's going to flap inside. And that's not, because it can't anymore. And that's going to flap shut. So they're all done. The only thing I still want to do, which I'm going to do next, is put my bit of Velcro on. I did mention when I did this that if you wanted to, you could put another magnet on the edge of this, so that would just clip shut, which would have been probably the best thing to do. But as I hadn't thought of that before I put the papers on, hopefully I mentioned it before you did the papers yourself. And if you feel so inclined, you can do the same. You can put the magnets on. I'm going to use Velcro because that's what I've got. This is just a pack of Velcro circles. They're 16mm circles, and you get 12 in a pack, so you get 12 fronts and 12 backs. So, and I am inclined to halve them when I'm doing something like small like this. You only really need a half, and I did that on the other one. So let's just get me strong scissors just to cut one of these in half. And you can have it right up to the edge. A bit tricky because it's sticky, but I'll add extra glue to it anyway. Put my other half back on the sheet. And then, so the half, I think this half goes on the bottom. Glue. Just going to put a little extra glue on it. And I'm just going to pop it in the middle there. Oops, try and do it straight, woman. So that's there. And then I've got the other one. This is what I call the fluffy side. So I'm going to cut that one of those in half as well. Just got a bit on the scissors. There we go. Okay, pop that back on the sheet. Ready for another time. And then all I do is pop that half of the Velcro on there. Put some extra glue on top that not sure it really needs because it's pretty gluey. And then close it where I want it. Make sure it's lined up. Press it down. You don't really want to do this until after you've got all the bulk, because then it'll sit where it wants, where it needs to sit, and it just holds it, stops it. I mean, it's not perfect. It's probably not as good as using the magnet, but it does just hold it into place, and then just peel them apart. And of course, it doesn't come off, but at least I can see where it should be. It's actually split it for some reason. I'm just going to glue it now. Where's it gone? So some of it's put a bit more glue on, put it back out. I can at least see where it should be. It just tore it. So it's there. I'm going to leave that to sit. Okay. Right, so there, we're done with this one, with this part. I'm going to leave that open there. Now we need to find some things to go into these envelopes and pockets. So back to the kit. I've got quite a few bits and pieces already cut out and probably will pop in quite well. I've got a small envelope here, and I've got a few cards. This card looks like it actually should even match it. It's got the same decoration on it, so this might be just a perfect match. Pop that in there. Boom. That's in. All done. Perfect. And then I've got my little diddly one, haven't I, that I made here. And there is a few small things. I think I've got this. Actually, is that going to fit? I think it might. I think that will fit. Oh, well, look at that. You'd have thought I made it on purpose that size, but I didn't. I assure you I did not make it to fit this little card, but it just does happen to. I've as you know, I stenciled on this side, so I wanted to do something with this. I could have left it as it was, but me being me, nah, couldn't leave it alone. So I cut a piece of paper just to decorate it, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover that piece. It's ready inked and ready to go. I cannot leave things plain. There's my little, this is tacky glue. It was giving me some trouble, and I realised I'd used almost all of it. I had to refill the bottle. I had to be very generous with it. And actually I've quite enjoyed using it. When it flows, it's a little bit easier. I'm trying to work with the glue stick, I found. Especially on the larger areas of paper. Let's get a dry wet wipe. Just got to make sure it doesn't. No, it's just covering the envelope. It's not going over the edge, not blocking anything. So that's there. That looks better. Now I can put my little card in. That's it. Just pop it in there. Right, all good. This one is looks perfectly as it is for writing on. If you want to write on this. So I have a pocket here, and I have a selection of tags, and I think I want some slightly taller thin tags. like this one for instance, so she can just peek through the vellum. Of course she's going to have a little topper. Ooh, I wonder if I could use some of this. I'm thinking I might use my little slot punch for these rather than a circle. And then where did I put it? This bit of lace that I trimmed off, I think I've got enough to do a couple of these. Although it's a bit narrow, isn't it now? No, it's not quite big enough. Okay, so in that case it's going to be a good old seam binding. That will go through there nicely, I think. Yep. Okay, go like that. Staple it. And that's that one done. Lovely jubbly. There we go. And I best do the same on the other side, haven't I? So, done these two envelopes. Got to find something for this envelope now. I've got this. That's going to fit, I think. So why not? That goes in there. And then, oh, I've got another little one to go in here, haven't I? Ooh, I don't think I've got anything for that side. Let me do my, I think I'm going to use this one for this pocket. Let's make that one, and I'm going to possibly have to go back to my collage sheet to make a little card to go in there. Which way up is it? That way. Not that one. Right, let's just do me stapling again. I want it to be taut. Right, get that out of the way, pop that in there. Right, so I'm going to find a little, I forgot about this little envelope, so I haven't pre-cut some paper to cover this. I was so pleased with myself for getting ahead of myself and getting this done, getting this ready, and I forgot about this one. So I will have to possibly finish that off camera, just because it's a little thing. And let's just do a bit of measuring. Well, perhaps I'll measure it up. Measure this one. Do it the same. Try and get it out. Yep. Okay. So I need a little card that is 2 3/8 by just over 3.5. Okay. 2 3/8 by just over 3.5. Two and 1 2 3/8. Just over 3.5. Use a little trim at that edge. That doesn't look straight either. Is it straight? No. Okay. I'll just need to round the corners and ink it, ready to go in the pocket. Right, so I've got my little card done. It's just rounded the corners and inked the edges like I've done on the others, and that now fits in there nicely, like so. But before I put that in there, I have gone ahead, as I turned the camera off briefly just to do those bits, cut a piece out to go on here. So I better do that, and then I know that bit's done as well. Let's just get this stuck on. So it's easy to do these envelope pieces. You just cut it to the size of the whole envelope, slide it inside. Let's just wipe this a little bit. Slide it inside and then draw around your opening, and it seems to work quite well. And then I just ink it up a little bit around the edges. Just pop that on there. Let's get a little, where'd my little cloth go? Smooth out the glue underneath. And then it all becomes part of the kit. Okay. Put that on there. Right, and now my little card can go in. There we are, and it's done. And that goes there. And that closes like that. Now I think we've got everything right. So what we need to do now is put something in these two corner pockets, and I happen to have the two of the big tags that came with the kit, and they do actually just about fit, like so. So they just need a little ink. And I'm just wondering if they need a bit of lace just across the top, not as a topper as such, more just as an embellishment to finish it up. So I think that's what I will do. Just ink those around. So this one, because I've used some of the backing paper that's got the lined to back this with, and you've got that little kind of lacy edge as part of the paper, which is really pretty. And this one. Just finishes it off, gives it an edge. And then we'll put just a little piece of lace across the edge. I'm feeling blue at the moment. I mean, not blue in as in as in depressed. I'm feeling a bit of blue lace is what I'm feeling. So because it's got quite a bit of blue all around. So what have we got? Well, we have the usual suspects. I don't know what this is. For some reason, this is an odd piece. Seems to be floating around separately, so whether that will work, I think this might be a bit, on this piece this is going to be too dark. So let's have a look at the other piece. Oh, we've got the dyed lace. Would that work? It might do. Have I got any more? I've got a piece of this floating around, so I'll just try that. I'd have to cut it down, I think. Not sure. I actually quite like this. Nope, wrong scissors. I'm just going to cut that down the middle. To cut off this little bit of netting, because that doesn't really enhance things. How would that look? Maybe if I did it like that. Just tuck that in. I'm not gonna. I shall trim it off. Would that work? Another piece for over here. Or is this a better colour? Decisions. Maybe what I'll have to do, because this is almost like a flower here, maybe if I cut off the side bits, I think it's a sort of flower embellishment. Maybe that will work, I don't know. Don't know till you try. Yeah. No, I'm not sure. I think it's just too big. Could I cut it in half? Let's try that. I know I'm spending a lot of time just fiddling around with this, but I like to get it right. I'm a bit of a, I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist as such, but I like things to look how I want them to look. Well, I quite like that. I've got the other half that can go on the other piece. I'll tidy that up a bit. Maybe that will work well enough. I think I might do that. It's just a little bit of decoration. Just thinking if there's any other lace I've got that would look better. This pink is too small. There is the coral. Sorry, just one more thing to try. No, doesn't go with the pink. Okay, I'm going to put this on. around. Might just trim off a little bit off there. So I'm afraid this video is going to end up being quite long if I'm going to finish this today. There isn't a lot more to do. So that's going to go right in that pocket there. And I would normally sew around these tags, and I may still do that, but not today. That little piece there. Trim off this little bit at the bottom. Okay, just a little bit of something. Trim the back off this as well. Right, let's crack on now. Get this done. That can go in there. And if you know, you could easily make your own. If you haven't got anything that works to go in there, make your own tags, journal cards, whatever you want to go in there. I've got much smaller ones in the prototype, but these ones just happen to be with the kit and they just about fit, so I've gone with them. Right, so all we have left to do now is this flap, the pockets, these pockets and this pocket down below. So I've just gone back to the kit to see what I can find to go in here. So I've got these bits. This kit has worked out really well for this folio because there's all sorts of little bits. So I've got these little tickety bits, so I can pop those in there. The tags don't fit, I've tried them. The tags don't fit in here, but I've got this big label, so I'll put that in there. What else we got? This book belongs to, perhaps I'll pop that in there. And I've got all these little tickets, and they will just be just right to pop in these pockets. One in there, one there, put that in there, got another one, put that in there. You could put anything, all sorts of little bits of ephemera would go into these little pockets. Tickets are quite good. I've got another one here, so I shall put that here. And that's pretty much it. So you could decorate these, but they're pretty enough as they are. I mean, I could have, and maybe I will still, put a little bit of lace on there, I don't know. But I don't think it needs any more. I think there's quite a lot going on already. The papers are so pretty in themselves. So I think we'll leave it like that. So I'll close that up. This could be finally it. I still might like to put a little bit of something across the edge there. Will this go as a final flourish? I mean, how many final flourishes are we going to have on this? It would go around there, wouldn't it? Okay. Final flourish it is. Where's my pepper tack? Sorry, I thought we'd done. But no. I want a little bit more lace around the edge of these pockets. I have to put the straight edge there, I think. Okay, on the edge there. Okay, that goes that way. Do the same on the other side. Hope this is still on camera. Okay. Okay. I think that's it. Sorry this has been a bit of an epic episode. I feared that it might be, in order to get this all done. But there we are. I think we're finished. So I'm going to pop that in there now. And this one can go in here. Like that. Hopefully now that'll close without coming apart. I've still got some more bits that I would like to fit in, but I can't. Okay, fold it up, see if it all still fits together. And it does. So there we have it. There's our file folder folio, all decorated, all laced up and done. So I do hope you've enjoyed this project. The feedback I've been getting has been really positive, and I really appreciate everything that people have been posting and saying how much they're enjoying doing this, and that they're going to either are joining in with me already or are planning to. Makes me so happy that you've all enjoyed this and are making your own. And you know, when you've done, or when you're halfway through, if you feel like sending me a picture of what you've made, my email address will be below. I don't really do I do have an Instagram account, but I don't really do anything with it. I don't use it, so I think it's probably, if you're able to send a picture via email, that might be the easiest thing to do. If you feel like doing that, I'd appreciate it. Okay, do join me again soon. New project starting next week or in the next video, and another one in the works in the back of my head, which I'm working on. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, thank you for joining me today, and see you again soon. Bye.